Alright, let's dive into this because it's a doozy. So, Nigel Farage is in the spotlight again, and this time it's not just about his political comebacks or Brexit soundbites. We are talking about a £5 million gift, secret deals, and a whole lot of questions that he's seemingly dodging. Here's the thing. Farage has been urged to come clean after reports surfaced that he might have struck a secret deal to return as the leader of Reform UK months before the 2024 general election. Personally, I think this is where things get really interesting. It's not just about the money, it's about the timing, the connections, and what it all implies about his political strategy. What makes this really intriguing is the claim that Farage received this £5 million gift from crypto-billionaire Christopher Harborne. Now, Farage has been adamant that this gift had nothing to do with his political activities, stating he wasn't in politics between 2021 and June 2024. But here's where it gets messy. The Sunday Times reported that Farage was negotiating a deal to return as Reform UK leader as early as March and April 2024. If you take a step back and think about it, this raises a deeper question. Was he really out of politics, or was he just playing a longer game? In my opinion, the timing of this gift and these negotiations is too coincidental to ignore. One thing that immediately stands out is the deal Farage allegedly made with Richard Tice. Under this agreement, once Farage became leader, Reform UK would repay or write off over £1 million in loans from Tice's company. What this really suggests is that Farage was not only planning his return, but also restructuring the party's finances to his advantage. What many people don't realize is how these financial maneuvers can shape political power dynamics. It's not just about the money, it's about control and leverage. From my perspective, the most fascinating detail is how Farage has been trying to distance himself from these allegations. He's framed himself as a broadcaster, an influencer, someone who was just doing celebrity TV and promoting financial products. But let's be real, politics is a game of influence, and Farage has always been a master player. What makes this narrative shaky is the fact that he announced his return to politics in June 2024, just months after these secret negotiations. It feels like he's trying to have it both ways, claiming he was out of politics while quietly orchestrating his comeback. Now, let's talk about the parliamentary investigation into this £5 million gift. It's been paused because Farage triggered a by-election in Clacton, but it'll resume if he's re-elected. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. His main opponent in this by-election is Count Bin Face, a comedy candidate. Personally, I think this is a strategic move by Farage. By calling a by-election against a novelty candidate, he's essentially avoiding scrutiny from major parties. It's a clever tactic, but it also feels like a dodge. What this really suggests is that Farage is more focused on evading questions than addressing them. What many people don't realize is how this situation fits into a broader trend in politics. Farage isn't the first politician to face allegations of financial impropriety, but his case is particularly glaring because of his history of positioning himself as an anti-establishment figure. If you take a step back and think about it, this raises questions about the credibility of his entire brand. Is he really the outsider he claims to be, or is he just another player in the same old game? In my opinion, the reactions from other politicians are just as telling. Labour's Bridget Phillipson called out Farage for trying to dodge scrutiny, while the Lib Dems' Daisy Cooper labelled him and Reform UK as grifters. What makes these comments interesting is that they are not just partisan attacks, they are tapping into a public sentiment that's increasingly skeptical of political sleaze. Farage's ability to brush off these allegations will be a real test of his political capital. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think Farage is in a tight spot. The net is closing in, and the public deserves answers. Whether he manages to win the Clacton by-election or not, the investigations and questions aren't going away. What this really suggests is that Farage's political future hinges on how he handles this moment. Will he come clean, Or will he keep trying to outmaneuver his critics? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and I'll be watching closely to see how it unfolds. What do you think? Is Farage just a savvy politician, or is there something more sinister at play? Let me know in the comments below.